I'm definitely not a financial expert, but I do pay attention to things. And it's crazy to see these people mismanage their companies so hard. To see that they were benefiting from all the free money that was given out, um, and not to see the forest from the trees, to not think ahead, not look ahead. Who's advising these people? Is it a bunch of yes men? Is it a bunch of people that got jobs that they didn't deserve just based off of how they look instead of are they qualified to actually do the job? This is what I was saying is when you put people into jobs based off of trying to fulfill quotas and they're not qualified or know anything about what they're doing, they're going to run companies into the ground. So, Silicon Valley Bank has collapsed. And from what I'm hearing, the government's pretty much took it over. Not took like they did something, I don't know what the word is, but it's crashed. They have crashed. Now this company is located in California, and they're like a tech lending company. They lend to a lot of tech companies, a lot of startup companies. So obviously, if you have under $250,000 in there, you're insured. But if you have more, which a lot of these people do that deposited, they're going to lose a lot of money unless our government bails them out. What I'm hoping that they don't. They should crash. I'm hoping that this bank crashes. I know it's going to affect a lot of other things, and it could possibly set us back tremendously when it comes to innovation, when it comes to tech. Which, listen, man, when you see videos of tech companies and their employees like not doing any work, and they're just like living this lifestyle, making all this money, once people like me are out here busting our asses for scraps, and then we get taxed the hell out of, then we have to deal with the inflation, hyperinflation, which is another tax. It's kind of like, screw you, man. And then these people that's affected by are in California. Like, California is screwed if the government doesn't bail them out. So this is going to affect other banks, I think. This is what the experts are saying. When FTX crashed, crypto exchange, a platform that I had some of my crypto on, and I had it pretty much kind of staked there, but it was on their platform, and now my crypto is frozen because they're in Chapter 11. They filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I think that 7 is we have to liquidate everything, and 11 is basically they kind of consolidate everything, something like that. But my assets are frozen. I still see it. I still see my assets on the site, but I can't do nothing with that. It's all paused. To me, I'm looking at it as a loss. I lost that. If they come back online, I can start, have access to my assets. Well, it's not mine because I have it on this site. I knew what I was doing. It's not insured. I'm taking it off right away, and a lot of people will too, and that'll probably really hurt their brand. But we should not. I don't think that we should bail these people out. No. After 2008, where we bailed out the bank, and and they didn't learn their lesson, and they're still doing the same type of crap that they did then. And I'm not going to go into it because I'm not that good at explaining stuff, but you can, if you want to do some investigation, there's a lot of people that are way smarter than me that can explain it a hell of a lot better than me. But yeah, they didn't learn the lesson, and then they're gonna come to us begging for us to bail them out. And this is a perfect opportunity for capitalism to come into place. This is a perfect opportunity for, how about you Republicans who complain about banks, I think Elon, somebody tweeted at Elon he should buy it. And he said, interesting, basically, something like that. But this is your opportunity to buy this company for pennies on the dollar and start your own bank. Revitalize it. This is capitalism. Now, if the government comes in here and it's too big to fail, that's socialism, man. You're socializing it. True capitalism is you let them fail because they made bad choices and they should have to suffer the consequences of those bad choices. And then other companies or other people will see, oh, it's down. I got the assets. Or a group can come in. How about BlackRock? Oh man, they're worth like $24 trillion. Why don't they bail them out? No, we don't need to bail these people out. These rich people who have like 99% of the wealth out here, let them bail them out. Why does it always have to come on us? Why do we always have to suffer the burden? Because they want to keep us in control. They want to keep us enslaved, man. That's what it is. So, I know it'll hurt us. It'll hurt, but we deserve it. We need to suffer. This society is, most people are living in like a dream state. A lot of people, it's funny is I see like YouTube creators and they're like, we don't make nothing here. Like, dude, yes we do. We make a lot of stuff here. We might not make as much as China makes, but we make a lot of stuff here. People who say that we don't make nothing here, they work behind a desk, behind a screen. Because I'm a blue collar worker, man. I've had a lot of different jobs this last 5-7 years. We make a lot of different stuff, man. We distribute stuff. We make stuff. I currently work at a place where we actually manufacture things from the ground up. So we do make stuff here, especially food. We make a lot of food here. But like, we need to let these people suffer. We need, like, these people in California who act like they're so arrogant, and it's gonna hurt everybody else. It's, maybe somebody like China or Japan or Russia gets ahead of us technology-wise like 10 years. But you know what? The rubber band is stretched so tight because of evil spending. That's all I can say. It's like incompetent spending. When these politicians, and I don't even know if Biden even knows where he's at. He just, I know he's not the one out here tweeting his stuff. But when he says, like, when they say we're saving 2.4 trillion or whatever, like, no, you're not. The budget you came out with is $6 trillion? $6 trillion. That's your budget. Well, we only bring in what, like 3? That's our GDP is like 3. So over half of the budget, we're going over. So that over half of the budget is going to go onto the national debt. So, like, they straight lied to us. Now, those numbers aren't exact, obviously. It might be like our GDP might be 4 or whatever. But we're not balancing the budget. He's a liar. He just says what they tell him to say. Because these people, they lie to us all the time. And they need to be held accountable. All this stuff is happening right now. And I want it to keep happening. I want Congress to, and since it's controlled by conservatives and they like to not spend money, don't let these people bail them out. And if we're going to bail them out, bail them out, they need to pay us interest on paying, like how they do to us. Make them pay like 50% interest on the bailout, whatever we bail them out to. Because that's what they do to us. They make us pay so much interest. Well, we need to make them pay interest. You don't just give them free money like we did in 2008, or we give to Ukraine, just give it away. Now make these people pay interest on this. Because if we're going to basically take ownership and continue, well, and it's not good for the government to take ownership. It's definitely not good because it centralizes power. But if we have to take like ownership, kind of like the NBA did with the Hornets, where they took ownership for a little bit of time until they found another owner. Like if that's what we have to have happen, okay. But we shouldn't just be giving out money anymore. We need to stop that crap. That's not going to balance the budget. That's not going to get rid of our national debt. And we already have a ton of unfunded liabilities anyways. But I think that we need to let them fail. We need to let them know, unless there's all these different stipulations. And there's more than I can even think of because I'm not that intelligent. So like there's people that are way more smart and like their whole life is finance and numbers and like they're accountants. I'm not. Like I have like a lot of different interests and it's just like I know a little bit about a lot of different shit. So like these companies need to come back down to reality. That's what it is. These companies need to come back down to reality. And these people are all, especially these people in California, man, these people are like, they need to feel pain, dude. They really need to feel pain. So they can wake up to reality. And that's what a lot of Americans need and I think that we're going to get it. I don't know. I don't think that we're going to go through some type of extreme collapse and then we're just going to go back down to barbarian days. I just don't think that's going to happen. It could, and like we all just like have to like turn to cannibalism or something. But I don't think it's going to get like that here. I just think it's going to get like harder to get stuff, slower process. And I think that the quality of life is going to go down. I think you're going to have to work harder to sustain whatever quality of life you have right now. More hours. Or you're going to have to make major cutbacks. A lot of people are going to have to make major cutbacks. You have all these layoffs right now with all the white-collar workers. Because they hired a bunch of white-collar workers they didn't need. Like, especially in tech. When you go through a recession, I listen to TFM and he says like, tech companies get hammered hard during a recession. And with all these brilliant minds, with these banks, it just amazes me that they didn't see the landscape. Maybe they live in a bubble. Maybe they have a bunch of yes men. Maybe they just like. Which I think what happened in Germany in the 1940s or whatever is like the generals pretty much lied to the leader, who he was, and told and fabricated things so they didn't have to suffer consequences. And I'm wondering if that happens. Like there's a lot of yes men. They just want to, they hide things from the leader. And this is another thing when you have too big of places where this is why I like the best form of capitalism is a bunch of small companies, not big, huge corporations. It centralizes power, and then when there's a problem, it takes longer to get things down to the other levels. It's harder to reach. It's harder to reach, but if you have a small company, you're more hands-on with your people and with your, you know what I mean? So I think that, I think corporations are bad. I don't think that anything should ever get too big to fail. If it gets too big to fail, well, start selling off your assets. Other companies will buy up those assets And then, you know, maybe you can uh, start over. You know, you're gonna have to downsize. Uh, like the regular person is like, when you live in this type of environment, when you have a bunch of inflation, you're not out going to the movies, you're not going on vacations, because it's more important for you to buy gas for your car, food for your belly, pay your rent or pay your house bill, to keep the lights on, utilities and all that, than it is to go on lavish vacations. And it's like, these people in California have been living in lavish vacations for a while now. They don't live in reality. That's why they act so arrogant. I see them on Twitter acting so arrogant and so disconnected from the common person. And it's unsustainable. It's unsustainable. And it has to come full circle. Like, everything comes full circle, man. Everything. So one thing I've done in the past, and I'm not happy with this, is I started talking to this woman, right? And she was a single mom, and she had 3 kids, right? Well, she wrecked her marriage, man. And she was a pretty cool person. I really liked her. But like, she ended up she wrecked her. I don't know if I can't tell the rest of the story. But anyway, I don't want to get into details. Okay. Uh, um. Anyway, like, I thought to myself, since like what she did to her marriage, I'm gonna kind of like, I definitely didn't want a relationship. I kind of like punished her in some type of manipulation ways, because she really liked me, right? But I wasn't. If after I found out what she did, I was like, kind of punish her, when I should have just let it happen naturally from the universe, not from me. And I think that affected me with the universe. I think I got a lot of bad luck from that. Trying to do that, trying to manipulate situations, and that was not my place to do that. So I say that because, like, I think it's very important for people to be patient right now. Um, and you see all this craziness, uh, where okay, it's like, you got the left, they're promoting climate crisis, but then they're promoting fat acceptance. Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't promote both. You can't say like, it's okay to be yourself and unhealthy and all that, and then like say that the world's ending because like carbon, like that person's carbon footprint is huge. You know what I mean? So it's all this stuff that's happening is try to confuse people, um, and like cause division. That's what it is. It's to cause division. They want us divided. It's the easiest way to destroy America. But I just don't think, um, I don't think that China. I don't think that we're gonna have any superpowers in the future. Um, I don't think that any countries are gonna just be like number one anymore. We're probably all just kind of be on the same level. Like the superpowers right now, just kind of be on the same level. Um, but it's not like this is the end of the world. You know, you're gonna see all this type of crap. This is the end of the world. This is the end of the world. I think it's not gonna be the end of the world. I'm so tired of hearing that. It's gonna be the end of the world. It's gonna be the end of the world. Like, that's all these YouTubers do, is like, oh, it's the end of the world. Blah 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 blah. Like, that's their punchline. And I think that I probably did that too before, but I just don't think it's gonna happen. I just don't think so. Um, I think like, if I had to give advice to people, I'd just say, be patient, learn different skills, um, be prepared. Like, learn to control your ego. Have gratitude for what you have, which I take my videos, I complained before about stuff, and I take things for granted, just like anybody else. Anybody takes things for granted, even if you came from nothing. You're gonna take things for granted in your life, but have gratitude for what the universe gives you and the opportunities that the universe gives you, and um, control your ego. Try to be humble. Um, People are gonna have to take jobs that they were ridiculing people about. Like, you might be a person, like, there's gonna be people out here that were making six figures, over six figures, living, and then they lose everything. Well, they might have to be a blue collar worker. They might have to clean toilets. And, those people that they were ridiculing before, they're gonna become. They're gonna have to. But you're gonna see a lot of self deletion too, because people are just gonna rather self delete than lose their lifestyle. The quality of life's gonna go down for a lot of people, and we can't just keep propping up the rich people, and all they do is crap on us, man. We can't keep doing that. We need some type of stability. The rubber band is cracking back, and you can see all the stuff that just happened this week, which was awesome, with the tapes that were leaked from Tucker, to all these like the FBI, like the stuff coming about the FBI type of could possibly they could possibly be, there's some of them that are like deleting things to show like they had involvement in January 6th, stuff like that. And I think there's gonna be a lot more stuff coming out, which is good. It's really good. Us having the Congress right now is really good. If we didn't have the Congress right now, if everything was blue, we'd be screwed. I think it would be really bad. But since they can kind of hold people accountable, especially the people who have like they're just like freedom minded and like all about the Constitution type of folks. It's kind of like, it's not about left and right. It's about the established elite, whether they say they're right or left, like they're Democrat or Republican. Well, pretty much all the Democrats are sold out, I would say, but like the leadership of the Republicans are completely sold out, and they're trying to sell out our country. So that story I said to that person that I used to know. You don't want that, they will get theirs. What I was trying to say is, they will get theirs. The universe will come full circle, and those people will get theirs. And it always feels like, what it feels like to me, and I feel this all the time, is like, man, I work so hard. I'm trying to do all these things. I'm trying to do, I make, like, for me, like I said, I'm not that good. I'm not good at making music, or I'm not that good at making videos, or articulating properly. Or my skits might be like cringy or whatever. But like, like I've raised my kids on my own. Both of my kids my last kid, he's about to get his diploma. So they both have diplomas, and it's like, we feel like there's a lot of people that in my position that feel like they're doing the right things. They're doing the right things. Like me, I don't go to bars, and I don't go drinking. I don't do drugs. I'm not even promiscuous anymore. I'm pretty much like, for me, I'm like kind of like a hermit. I'm trying to stay back from people because I'm evaluating situations and evaluating people, and I see that there's a lot of tension with people, and I see that there's a lot of possible drama, and I just don't want to deal with that. So I try to avoid people, and it's gonna get worse, because people are coming back down to reality, and that's what's happening. Is more people are waking up, and they have to wake up. They can't just stay asleep. to like the blatant corruption we have going on in this country, whether it's the financial institutes or the government in general, or like the tech companies, or you know, these tech companies hate people like me and they censor people like me. And you think that I want you bailed out? Like I don't care. We can just go ahead and get rid of YouTube. We just go ahead and get rid of Google. We'll get rid of the internet altogether. Whatever. I don't care. Like I can, as long as I can eat, and this is big too. Like there's this person I was talking to, and he's like, oh, I don't mind losing a limb. I get all this money, and I'm like, dude, going forward, that money is not going to be shit. It's more important to have a body to be able to feed yourself. Like we might go, if it gets bad enough, we might have some type of like indentured servitude. Well, if you're missing limbs and shit, how you gonna work on a farm or something? Like if it gets that bad, you want to be able to. Your body is gonna keep you fed. Fiat currencies, they don't last. They don't last. So, it's everything is really crazy right now. It's because of what happened in 2020 is with all the spending and telling people to stay at home. Like this is why we're suffering. You know, people are like, "Oh yeah, I got all this money," and then they have all this money to spend on stupid crap. But if you took those things and try to spend it on okay things, like I don't know, like for me, so like tomorrow, somebody could come and steal everything. Somebody could come rob me blind. Well, I got weapons, man. I got weapons to defend myself. And so, if my bank, if I wake up tomorrow and my bank is done, I can't get my funds out, and well, I got silver, I got gold, I got for right now, I got Bitcoin. So it's like I have other avenues if my bank fails. You know what I mean? To be able to pay my bills. I got sports cars. That's an avenue too. And right now it's down, but it's not going to be down forever. We're going to go through hard times, but I don't think that it's going to be like we're going to go back to Stone Age. I just don't think we're going to go back to Stone Age. But I think it's going to get hard for a lot of people. And I think it's going to get hard for the richer people or the upper middle class people, who are, especially the people that have been like trying to keep up with the Joneses, and they just live in this like, they don't live in reality, and they're completely disconnected from like regular people, and they almost like make fun of people like us, like they just think that they're better than, and they're not. How the hell can you make over $100,000 or even $200,000 if you have two incomes coming in from you and your wife or whatever, and you're living check to check? Like, you made some bad decisions. Like me living check to check. That's understandable. Dude, I think I made like $37,000 last year, which is pretty good for where I live. Honestly, it's pretty good for where I live. It's not that bad. And if I didn't have anybody else's support by myself, it's really good. Like if it was just me and I made $37,000, dude, I would be living pretty good. But to make like over $100,000 and you're living check to check, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're trying to like, these people are about to come back down to reality, and you might see a lot of bankruptcies. It's going to affect our economy. Well, it's going if our economy collapses or comes to a screeching halt, well, so is the whole world's. Everybody else is going to too. So, with these banks, and you know what I heard too. This is really long, but what I heard about that bank too is, I don't know if this is true, but like I guess the CEO sold off a bunch of the shares a couple of weeks ago. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, that's messed up. That's That's the mess. You see they see what was happening. They see there's probably gonna be a collapse, and they sell everything off. Um, yeah. When you see um the Federal Reserve raising interest rates, that's what that hurts people getting loans because their interest rates on the loans are higher. So there'll be less people taking out loans. There'll be less jobs, and I might lose my job. I might not even be able to find a job too. There might be all the jobs just go, but there's a lot of people that are going to be losing jobs. The thing that makes me different is I'm not addicted to hardly anything. So like, if you're addicted to stuff, you need to do what you got to do to try to get off of your addictions, that cause that like cost a lot of money. Get alcohol addiction, cigarettes. I would try to get off of that stuff. Um, Definitely cut back. Because like a lot of people, they're addicted to a lot of things, and especially with the 2020, the lockdowns and the stay-at-home stuff, a lot of people became alcoholics and drug addicts from that, so they're addicted to that stuff. So if you're a person that has a lot of addictions, I would try to start losing them. That's what I would do. You're not going to be able to afford them because they're going to be luxuries, man. That's what it is. It's going to be like a luxury. Going out to eat is a luxury to me. I don't go out to eat all the time, and from I've never done Uber Eats, and that's something that would be pretty cool. But I was like, dude, I have a car. Why would I spend an extra $21 or whatever for the Uber Eats? I don't know. I wouldn't. I just go get them myself, and it's like I don't like go nowhere, but that's a waste of money. A lot of people just wasted a lot of money on that. But yeah, that's enough.